Man, Brian, it's been tough. A whole year we haven't had any comic conventions.
Well, Mark, I have news for you, buddy.
I mean, how do you get rid of all that stuff that's behind you? You got tons of stuff.
Hold on. I got big news. Big news.
All right. What do you got?
East of the River Comic Book and Collectibles Show is returning.
Oh, man.
June 27th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. It's only $1 to get in. And they're going to be doing early bird at 8 a.m. for $3. This is like huge. We're coming back.
It's huge.
Yeah, but the craziest thing is this is going to be one of the biggest locations ever, the safest locations ever. Sports on 66. It's an indoor sports facility, so everybody has plenty of space.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that place. It has like a soccer field. It has a basketball court.
Yeah.
There's going to be tons of space in there.
It's in East Hampton, Connecticut. We have flyers online. There's a Facebook page, an event page. You just type in East of the River Comic Book and Collectibles Show. You'll see it. Join it. It has all the information, all the updates from Scott Pellin. And he's actually looking for vendors right now.
And he's going to have a lot of space for vendors, so get in there now if you got a chance.
Yes. So if you are interested in being a vendor or interested in going to the show, find us on Facebook at East of the River Comic Book Collectibles Show. Message Scott, and hopefully he'll get you a space. We'll keep everybody posted here weekly about how everything's going, and we hope to see you at the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Geekonomics. We are back with another fun show. Today's cup of the day.
The ground pound.
The ground pound.
The ground round. It does look like a pound because the R is.
Yes.
there.
Yeah, the way they did the R. Never worked out. It wasn't there's a reason why they're not open anymore.
I miss
bad marketing might be a reasoning.
I miss the ground round.
I missed the ground round. The reason why I missed going off of topic of the show here. The thing I loved about the ground round is you'd walk in and they'd have like an area where they would just play old silent movies, like on a loop.
It was cartoons, old cartoons.
Well, they also did like Laurel and Hardy, like things and all that. I used to love that.
That's when they first started. Then they phased that out.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to love that.
Yeah,
then they got rid of it, and then they went downhill and they closed. So
they had a big screen projector, and they would show all cartoons, and you get popcorn. And then they became more of a sports.
Yeah, they became more of a sports. And no one showed up for the sports. To the part where we had the whole bar to ourselves for our Super Bowl.
Super Bowl Sunday, we saw the Janet Jackson's party.
Boob.
Yeah.
And we found out Dan was a closet Panthers fan.
He's always been a Panthers fan, yeah.
Only because his favorite color is teal. So.
And he bought all the Panthers gear. Remember, he had the hat, the jacket.
Yeah, he was all decked out.
He couldn't name one player.
He couldn't even tell you what the name of the team was, but he knew the color was cool. He liked the teal.
It was a cool.
Silver logo. And teal. He loves the colors.
So Mark, we got a lot to talk about. Some breaking news. Breaking news. We actually get the report on.
Breaking news.
Pretty big news. And
you want to hit the breaking news now, or do you want to go and wait?
No, we'll wait. And then
so it's not that breaking. Then it's lackadaisical news.
It's a lackadaisical.
We don't handle breaking news here on the show. We do lackadaisical news.
Yeah,
where you can wait for it. It's nothing that important that we have to do it right now.
Don't you know you're supposed to tease things and then you make people listen by saying the news will happen later?
The news did that. That'd be a bad situation. We have breaking news, but first, here's a story about a cat caught in a tree.
They do that all the time. But first, here is your weather, and then you got to watch.
No, everything's breaking news though, so you don't even know what's really breaking news anymore.
Yeah.
They have like a new thing called breaking news. Like, this is really the news you want to hear about. Not just that other stuff we were breaking, but this is like
everything's breaking.
I know. Or a news alert.
Yeah. So now you got me all off guard. I have a story about our podcast.
Okay.
So for the last 2 weeks, I've been getting cease and desist letters from Podbean from Universal Music.
Okay.
So the first time I get this letter 2 weeks ago now, it was on a Friday, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing the WandaVision finale. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't, I got to have the show running. Like,
Yeah.
this is big for us. So I get this letter in this email stating that this one episode, this best of 2018
Yes.
episode is the cause of my problems.
Uh-huh.
And it was Universal Music, whatever. And I'm like, really?
That's because like Podbean like changed their rules like since that show came out.
Hold on, it gets better.
What I'm saying is that's like the reasoning behind it. It's not like it's something that it's been there since 2018 and no one said a thing about it until now.
It's not Podbean. It is copyright laws have changed. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's very true. It's not it's not Podbean, it's just overall.
I mean, I want people to know like when we did this show, it was legal. Just now it's no longer legal.
Well, so I was like, what the hell did we do? I go back and all we did, we played one of the biggest songs of that year at the very end. Yes. Ariana Grande.
You did. I don't like that was back when we just did audio, so you just handled the audio side.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I think you throw me under the bus. Like
I'm not going to jail for you.
Nobody's going to jail.
I'm not going to podcast jail for you.
Nobody's going to jail, Mark. All right. So I take out the offending song and I write back.
Which was offending on its own because it's an Ariana Grande song.
Right. Song sucks. So I edited it out and I write back. I say the song is edited out. Okay. Your page is back because you couldn't even go to our page.
No.
So the page is back. Then last Friday, before the Justice League review stuff, I get another email saying this episode is still a problem. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it tells me where they got the episode. The Universal or whoever heard this episode, they were offended by it or whatever. Yeah. They heard the song or Spotify. So I took us off Spotify. I'm like, I don't want to deal with Spotify because Spotify is really stringent on all this. So I disconnected us from Spotify. If that's going to be our problem, I'm fine. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
So, and that song
is not even Spotify anymore anyways. Isn't that like not even a thing anymore?
Mark,
I don't even know it existed still.
Spotify is one of the biggest. Oh. It is the biggest music platform.
Well, I mean, like for podcasts though. I don't think it's like, is that like a lot of people listen to podcasts there? Oh.
It's big. 2 years ago, they allowed podcasting.
Little known secret, folks that watch the show. I don't even watch or listen to podcasts. I just do this show.
No, they paid a record sum money for the exclusive Joe Rogan rights.
No, there's worth the money.
Well, he's one of the, as much as I disagree with him a lot of the time.
On everything.
Not
Who cares what the sideline commentator for UFC has to say?
We're going down the wrong path. This has nothing. What I'm telling you is Spotify's.
I'll start a rivalry with Joe Rogan. I don't care.
Spotify's taking podcasting very.
Bring it, radio engineer from News Radio.
All right. Anyway, this is beside the point. So I'm explaining to you why Spotify is very.
So Spotify is an issue.
So I wrote back and I said, the song is not even in the episode. And they wrote back, circling that I never deleted it, saying, you never deleted the episode, ignoring the fact that I said.
Yeah, but we took the song out.
But I was so pissed. I was like, I'm going to write back something so snarky. They're going to kick us off Podbean. Like, I don't want to be a jerk, but I'm so pissed off right now. I write back. I had edited the song out.
And then re-uploaded the show.
But I guess it's just not enough. So I deleted it. Thanks. I was pissed. So they write back, thanks. Your show is back up again.
Because of one stupid show that we did 2 years ago.
Then it gets even better.
Oh my God.
This morning,
Yes.
I get an email from Podbean. 3 other shows. Old shows.
Yeah.
episode 95, episode 102,
Mm-hmm.
and episode like 365 or something, right?
Yeah.
Old shows. And all linked from Spotify. Now, I disconnected us from Spotify last week. I don't know why it's still there. I don't know how long it takes for one show to not be on Spotify anymore. I don't know. And I don't, or did they find these and now they're just going to slowly dole it out like so I deleted the episodes and I wrote back, I go, it's deleted. Okay, your show's back up again. I'm like, so this is going to be a weekly thing until all our shows are gone. So I deleted the shows. The MP3 still exists. The shows are just gone for now. But it's just like, come on, like I took us off Spotify.
I mean, it'd be one thing if we were like a really popular podcast that was making billions of dollars.
We're not making any money
off the show. Then I could see that to be a thing, being like, hey guys, you guys make a lot of money. You don't need to be doing this. You could not play the songs on there.
Yeah, I don't get it because you know what? How many hits those episodes had? Like 40, 45.
Those 45 people no longer be able to buy that album now because they just listen to it on our podcast.
Oh, the horror. So anyway, I'm going to be better going forward if I add a song to the end of the episode.
How about we just don't add songs in the episodes?
I'm probably not going to do that.
And just say screw it.
Yeah. Anyway, but I mean, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, but that's my Podbean drama right now, and I don't blame Podbean. They are getting complaints from Universal Music.
Like Universal really needs the money. Is that like it? That's how hard up they are.
It's copyright laws.
They have an intern running around checking random podcasts.
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I just pictured some asshole listening to like everybody.
I just found this. They were playing an Ariana Grande song on their podcast. We had to get rid of it.
Get rid of it now.
Get rid of it now.
Actually, the first time I edited
Jensen, I need 72 eliminations before the end of the day.
I edit the song out, but I constantly would call her different names at the end, and I'm like, are they coming after me because
we picked on Ariana Grande?
I was making fun of her.
Mocha Latte, Mocha Venti, whatever her name is.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what we should do? We should just put a show on that just plays Ariana Grande for an hour.
Then we're gonna go to podcast jail, I think. Then we're going to podcast jail.
We're just going on a road. We'll go rogue.
I'm doing the best I can to keep our show on in circulation on the audio front. Maybe one day I can find a better host. Or I'm just keeping us off Spotify, and hopefully we won't have a problem. So it is what it is.
I think we just stop playing music on there.
I am going to do that as well. All right, Mark, let's get into the news.
The mission of the world is basically just to kill music as a whole anyways. So why not just let them have another victory?
No.
Populate the world with bad music. That's all they want to do.
That's really not what it is. It's really so people get paid. Because people are not getting paid. So
because Ariana Grande's not making any money off her music, so it's a good thing they took it off our podcast.
I know. I agree with you that our podcast is not generating any revenue for anybody.
I'm pretty sure Ariana Grande is sitting in a room right now going, "Oh, those guys on that podcast played my song for free."
I was thinking that it was her secretly, and then that she's gonna write a #1 hit where she slams us. That'd be fine. Cool. I would be fine with that too.
I mean, it worked for Pete Davidson.
Yeah, I mean, we could become huge.
Yeah.
We'll start dating supermodels.
I'll fake date her for a minute if she wants. Like Pete Davidson did.
All right. Mark, I got news. Let's
All right. You got news? Or what'd you do this week? Do you want to do that first, or you want to get the news in?
Yeah,
you're the one that pushes this the way the show's supposed to go, and then you don't want to follow the rules. This is why you get pulled off Podbean.
This is it.
Because you can't follow the rules, Brian.
This week for me, it's weird. It was a busy week. I've been finishing up my South Park Fractured But Whole, which is hilarious, and it's a lot of fun. I'm getting very close to the end there, and God, I didn't really watch anything. I mean, I started the new season of Solar Opposites on Hulu, which is very funny. I enjoy that. And um, we started watching another crime documentary about John Wayne Gacy, which is really
Oh, I heard
interesting.
about that one. Yeah, I heard that's really good.
It's on Peacock.
Yeah.
It's a 6-part series. We're on episode 5. And I know his story, but this really goes in depth, and
Yeah.
it's crazy what this man did. It is nuts.
Yeah.
Because he was a very somehow charming fella that got away with murder, but he got away with a lot of other things. When he actually went to jail, for his first offense, which was assaulting, sodomizing a child, he was only in jail for not even like a year or two, and he worked in the kitchen. He got the jail a golf course. He got the jail a miniature golf course.
It's like a bad version of Shawshank Redemption.
Seriously, the man
He kept writing letters, and they sent him a golf course.
Yeah, and then he had the run of the place because he got it.
I mean, if you get a mini golf course for a place, at least you should do is get a run of the place. I mean,
dude, it's just crazy. This man was crazy. Anyway, been watching that. Very interesting. And but beyond that, I mean, I haven't really watched or done anything. I mean, I'm getting hyped for the Godzilla versus King Kong, which comes
it's Wednesday. I'm excited.
Yeah. What about you, Mark? You watch? How was your week?
It was good. I watched, of course, on Friday. I watched Falcon Winter Soldier, which we'll talk about later on. I also watched the first 3 episodes of Invincible over the weekend, which we'll talk about later on as well. But I did, per Rocky's suggestion, after Justice League, when we talked about last week, he talked about Justice League Apocalypse War and how like the end credit thing was kind of along the lines of that cartoon that came out last year, that movie.
Okay. Yeah.
So I watched that over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
And it reminded me why, like, I don't know. It reminded me like I don't like why I don't watch those movies. I just didn't like it. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
I know Rocky would be like, I can't believe that you said that, but I don't know. I just don't really want to watch my superheroes be turned bad.
Well, Injustice was very.
Yeah, but this was even worse than Injustice. It was just, I don't know. It was just kind of, there was like
no. It's the same. Injustice, the first Injustice game, Superman goes bad because they make him kill Lois.
Yeah,
and Lois was the key, and it sort of resembled that.
That's what the movie was. But I mean, in this movie, it's like the dark side. Like I have a feeling I jumped in that are like there's movies that are connected to this movie that I didn't watch beforehand.
Right.
Because there's no like anything saying that there's like a trilogy or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. But like Darkseid's coming and like they decide to attack Darkseid. And then it jumps like 2 years after that.
Oh.
So it gives you like no explanation like what actually happened in the attack and everything.
Maybe you were missing something.
I know. I don't know what it is. But then like I just wasn't like, and after that the story was kind of, I don't know. It was kind of lame.
I didn't like it. At least gave it a shot, right? That's cool.
Yeah. I got a sneeze coming. The other thing I did watch, Claire decided to get Discovery Plus late last week.
Oh boy. How is it?
Well, because she loves the Science Channel and all those channels that Discovery has, like the Food Network and all that stuff. So she got it for that, so she could watch like all her Food Network shows and binge watch them incessantly, which is her favorite thing to do on the weekends.
Right.
But one of the things I found on there when I was just bopping around down there while she was outside having a cigarette, I saw they have Josh Gates that does that Expedition Unknown show.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing a special show called Expedition Back to the Future. And it's him and Christopher Lloyd. It's like multiple episodes going around looking for a certain screen-used DeLorean that I'm assuming they're going to auction off at the end of the season or whatever it is
Yeah,
for the Michael J. Fox Foundation.
that's awesome.
We only like got 2 episodes in, but it's honestly like one of the best things I've seen in a long time. It's like hits every nostalgic button. If you ever like a fan of Back to the Future, this show is like made for you. It's like they go to actually go to Universal, talk to the guy who wrote the movie. They sit in the diner that's on the lot that you can sit in that's from the movie. And like they have like all the different actors that were in the movie like sprinkled in it, like all the side characters. Like Strickland is a security guard at Universal. The waiter is like at the diner. The busboy is Wilson, the mayor. Like they go and visit Leah Thompson. I'm assuming they're like you're gonna get more and more of the people from the movie as you get into it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean it's great. They go and like they find the original A car, which is at the Pearson Museum in Los Angeles, and that's the car that backed out of the bread truck. And it's crazy because like they say early on in the thing, like Christopher Lloyd hasn't really seen like a lot of this stuff since they filmed the movie.
Yeah.
So he's like amazed. Like he sat in the A car and it's like him sitting in it. Like it's the first time I've sat in this car for 35 years. And he automatically starts like touching all the things and like this is how you turned everything on, and he knew exactly where everything was.
Yeah.
And even the curator for the museum's like, this is amazing. Like he's like sitting in the car.
Great photo
And
op.
like the car from episode 3 is in the Hollywood Museum in Hollywood, which is like a smaller museum. And it was donated by, which I didn't know this, a father and son that live in Massachusetts
Oh, that's cool.
that have like the biggest Back to the Future collection in the world. And like people can go and like do like a private tour
What do
in
they
their
have?
Garages.
What do they have?
Somewhere in Mass. They didn't say where.
Yeah, but what do they have? Do they have like
They have everything. They have like
replicas
all like
or memorabilia or
they have pretty much everything you could think of from the movies. They have Doc Brown's car, like this Packard. They have 3 DeLoreans. One of them was at that museum. The other 2 are in their like collection. They have like all like clothing. They did a room where they mocked up the first scene of the movie where it's all Doc Brown's like the machines and everything.
yeah.
Like they mocked up a whole room like that. Like they found all the different clocks that like not the exact clocks, but same type clocks, so it matches up and everything. They have like Doc Brown's remote control when he's remote controlling the car in the first movie. They have like hoverboards. They have like every anything you could think of, like all the old outfits and costumes, the different characters they have. Like they have Doc Brown's like yellow like long jacket and everything.
So they're in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
We should go. That should be a podcast trip.
I know.
We could go film and take a tour when COVID, we got vaccine and everything. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that, Mark. We should do it.
I will.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. But no, it's the show. It's like if you have Discovery Plus, I would suggest watching it. It's really like hits all the nostalgic buttons. It's like a happy watch. You don't have to think about anything.
Yeah.
You just watch them finding Back to the Future memorabilia and things.
Yeah.
And talking about it with Christopher Lloyd, which is amazing.
I'll just have you just recap it for me every week.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying people in general.
Yeah, check it out.
If they ever get to see this episode, they can find out about it.
This will be on Facebook or Podbean. Who knows about Podbean? Anyway, that's
Thank God
awesome.
for Facebook. We can just move the show there.
Well, pretty much our show has found a new audience on Facebook and YouTube.
We appreciate all of you that have joined on.
Yeah,
since we started the switch to Facebook.
It's been better.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anything else, Mark?
Not really. Just those 2 other things that we're going to talk about later on.
Okay.
It's been a really regular week.
It's been it's weird.
Walking.
Yeah, walking, and I mean, congratulations on the walk.
I've gotten up to a mile. I'm like averaging like a mile a day now.
That's awesome.
Yesterday and today are kind of sucking because yesterday with the rain, I couldn't do anything.
Well, rain, but I think you should do today. I'm gonna try to go out today.
I don't know. I went out earlier, and the wind is a little bit too much for me to be able to.
Just wear a winter coat. You'll be fine.
No, it's the breathing. I have the allergies, and it doesn't help with the wind. So that's why I've been sneezing and hacking like crazy.
When you sneeze, the wind will just take it away.
Yeah.
Wear a mask. And then there you go. You wear a mask.
I think it's all sweaty, and it's a whole thing.
So this is big news that broke this week, Mark. So this is good news. It is good news because it's something we've been pushing.
I won't know until you tell me.
Black Widow has been moved to the May release to July 9th.
Yes.
And Cruella DeVille, the new Cruella movie.
Yes, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone will be coming out May 28th. Both will have a split release. It's going to be in theaters for the folks that have been vaccinated and want to go to the theater. And then for folks like me that want to stay home, I can watch it on premium VOD for $30 a pop. Both will be $30 on Disney Plus. And they did this with Mulan, and they also did this, which I didn't know, that dragon movie that just came out that's on Disney.
Raya, The Last Dragon, yes. That's
$30 to rent, to watch. I thought that was one of those free things that, like Soul. Soul was free. So it's interesting how they pick and choose. I'm sure there's a reason behind all that. But with Black Widow, the amount of money they spent to make it and promote it, and for it not to come out, I knew there's going to be a price tag attached to it. There's going to be no way it was going to be free. They got to make their money back.
Because they already established that, like I said earlier in the week when I was talking. They've established that with the other two movies. They're not going to now change it just because Black Widow's coming out.
So for me personally, if I can convince Allison to watch it, which she might, because when we watched the Avengers, when I made her watch the first Avengers, she said Black Widow should have her own movie. So I kind of feel like if I said, hey, you want to watch Black Widow with me? She probably would. And for me, I can kind of swallow that $30 bill because two people are watching it. But if it was just gonna be me, I would wait, because $30 is a lot of movie. I can go buy a physical movie for that much money.
Like I said in the chat too, I said that like it's more made for like families, like John, and Kristen, like when the kid's older, when Tig's older. It's made for that kind of family. It's like $10 a person. You can makes more sense that way.
I don't think it has anything to do. I don't think it has. It's Disney. $30. They want to make their money back. I don't think it has anything to do with who they're targeting. They're targeting us. I mean, we're the ones who've been.
Well, I know, but I'm saying the Disney Plus situation with the Mulan and the Raya, those are family movies. They kind of like, that's what the impetus of Disney Plus is, basically, is to get families to purchase stuff.
But Black Widow,
their thinking is they can't like put Black Widow out and say, oh, well, we made you pay for Mulan and Raya, but we're going to give you Black Widow for free. And they'll be like, that makes no sense. So people aren't going to do that. So the $30, they kind of justify it. Like families can justify it by saying, all right, if there's 4 or 5 people in a family, you got 5 people in a family, spend $30, you get the movie, not just for that one time, you have it for like a prolonged, like you get to watch it the whole time it's available, correct?
They didn't say that. I don't know. Mulan, you did, but it came out right before that Mulan was going to be out in 3 months for free for everybody anyway. So that kind of like spoiled that. I don't know. I'm assuming it's going to be the same. If you pay the $30, you can watch it as many times as you want.
Yeah, you have it. You have access to it. That's basically what you're doing. Is you're not paying. It's like you're paying for the movie, but you're actually paying for access to the movie, so you get to watch it during that time frame. Because if not, then you have to wait. Like with Raya, if I were to purchase Raya now, I could watch it for eternity. Whereas if I don't purchase it, I have to wait until it comes out on Disney Plus for free.
Right.
So same thing with Black Widow. It's like you're gonna pay the $30 so you can watch it as many times as you want, basically.
Yeah.
And you don't have to wait until it comes out for free.
But
which could be 6 months down the road, and then you're behind on.
It's going to be 3 months,
and all your friends pick on you because you haven't seen it yet. So that's what they get you.
Yeah.
What do you mean you haven't seen Black Widow?
It's interesting. It is coming out in July. My age group of the vaccine does open up
next month.
No, in 4 days. So
that's next month.
Yeah, 4 days. So, but will
I'm in the same age group with you, Brian. I know.
How will I have a vaccine? Will I have a vaccine in time or not? I don't know.
See, the thing is with that too, it's like they say, like it opens up. Doesn't mean we're gonna get doesn't mean you automatically get the vaccine as soon as it opens up.
You gotta figure it out.
Be shrewd and figure out a way to get it.
Anyway, I'm happy because I have been saying I want this at home. I got what I wanted. I will probably pay the $30 if I can get Allison on board. I'm excited.
I just have to look into seeing a thing is if like we both if we do like we did with.
I'm not doing that. I can't watch a movie on my laptop. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying if like the same kind of thing. I was wondering if that was a feasibility of that. That's all.
1,000,000 to 1, they're not going to allow people to share with other people because you'd have to all pay for it. And I'm not going to watch a movie on my laptop.
Yes, I know. You're too lazy to hook up your laptop to your television. So
my laptop does not have an HDMI port. Like it's not from
Jobs.
It's not from the 80s. So
thanks, Steve Jobs.
Yeah. And if I'm paying $30 for a fucking movie, I want it on the biggest screen. I want the best audio. I don't want to be hunched over my laptop. That seems like a waste. So anyway, those two are coming out, $30 a pop. Whatever you think is right for you, go for it. It's exciting that they're giving us options. Also this week, a awesome trailer landed. I'm so hyped for the new The Suicide Squad Red Band trailer.
Yes.
I'm so hyped for this now. What a fantastic
cover your beach
trailer.
with a bag of dicks.
And here's the main thing I took away from this. It's a really funny. Each character has their own. It seems like he can balance out all these characters. The first Suicide Squad trailer was cut to a song.
Yeah.
This was just showing you the characters.
Well, there was a song too, which just
I don't even know what it was, but it didn't matter.
There's an older song. That's why I don't know what it was.
No, what was the song in the trailer? Because I don't know, because I was more focused on the humor and the characters and how they interacted with each other. Rather than the first Suicide Squad trailer, it was just Queen. It was a music video. And we all got hyped by a music video.
Well, the other fun part about this trailer too is like there's nothing in this trailer where you don't think any of them will survive. Like I don't care if any of these people survive in this version of Suicide Squad. There's so many of them that a lot of them are going to not make it through. Or
they could all.
I don't think so. I don't think they're all making it through. There's no way that they're going to not kill off some of these side here people.
But you know what's great with James Gunn? He's not going to kill them the first 10 minutes.
The thing you thought about after I watched it the first time is the way that they shot the trailer. It's like they showed you all these people. It's like how many of them are going to I don't think Michael Rooker's character is going to make it to the end of the movie. I don't think Pete Davidson's character is going to make it to the end of the movie. It's like there's certain characters like the guy that was drinking the pip, he's going to be gone. There's going to be all these random people. But the one person who I know is going to survive from watching that trailer, Polka Dot Man.
Harley Quinn.
Well, Harley Quinn too. But Polka Dot Man. You know why Polka Dot Man's going to survive?
Why?
Because he wants to die.
Yeah.
That's a James Gunn thing. It's like if you act like you want to die, you're surviving all the way through this movie.
Going to be tortured though.
You're going to be brutally beaten up, and you're going to be half alive, but you're making it thugh.
Yeah.
And you'll be in the sequel, and you'll be in it for a long time. You're in this movie forever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
There was a great article on IGN about it, and basically James Gunn confirmed that the film was fully finished and ready to be released. And this will be an HBO Max movie as well.
Yes, August 6th.
So pumped, so pumped. But this is some great news. He was saying that the movie is fully finished, it's fully cut, and he made every single choice, and Warner Brothers had never once even slightly interfered. They gave him very few notes. They were usually good and minor, and he took them if he wanted to, and he didn't change it if he felt they were wrong. And he said that Warner Brothers was hands off, which is nice to hear because of how much they interfered with.
How do you think Zack Snyder feels about that?
But that was a lot different.
I know, but still.
Zack Snyder's daughter died.
No, but
so he had to walk away.
Even still, his movie got butchered, basically.
Oh, it got butchered by
like, how do you think he feels about that when he hears, oh, well, they were totally hands off on my movie?
It's because Warner Brothers learned their lesson, maybe. Because they're like,
but still, if I was Zack Snyder, I'd be like, well, where the hell was those people 4 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah, but hey, we got the his cut, which is great. And I learned something new. Zack Snyder, he didn't even get paid for that. He said he didn't get paid to recut the movie. All he wanted was the budget to do it, which is kind of.
We'll say
that's pretty cool.
Memes of the week go to the people who have made the memes of every other movie that's like long. That was like they made things like
what?
Since the release of the Zack Snyder movie, the Russo brothers have announced they're making a 6-hour-long Infinity Endgame.
Yeah, all these these fake articles came out, like, and people were buying it. And I'm like, dude,
with the success of the Zack Snyder Justice League movie, Peter Jackson has announced he's going to make a 24.7-hour-long
Lord of the Rings movie.
Release the extra extreme long edition of Lord of the Rings.
I know.
Even more walking
and more throwing of the ring.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, a 9-day version of The Hobbit based on a 100-page book, more singing and more garbage nobody cares about.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, there's so much walking in that movie, even the trees walked.
Yeah, even the trees were like, I'm out of here. So yeah, I think this is great. I'm so excited for this movie. It looks really funny. And man, okay, Suicide Squad, I'm hoping I'm vaccinated. I'm hoping we're all vaccinated in my friends group, that maybe we could go to the theater for that one. I feel like that would be a fun...
That'd be our return to the theater.
Seriously, that would be a fun theater movie.
You know what we could do? If not,
we're all comfortable
we could go to the new Big E Drive-In.
I was going to mention that
last week.
I'm not. Yet again, the drive-in. You know how much it is? It's $30. A car.
Yeah.
And then they said after
you do like the old days. You load in like 7 people into your car.
That sounds like no fun. I'd rather go to the theater.
Go to the drive-in.
Especially if it's hot outside in August.
I mean, if you have like 5 people, you have air conditioning. The radio is your speaker.
You can't keep the AC on. You'll run the battery. You can't keep the AC on while your car is just...
Yeah, you don't run the whole time. You do it spurts.
You can go to the drive-in. I'm going to the theater because theater, it sounds way more comfortable, and I can be spread. I'm not going to be in a car with you and no. I'd rather go to a theater or just watch it at home. But the Big E is doing a drive-in. It's $30 a car, which is more expensive.
2 screens.
It's more expensive though, because if you go to Mansfield, it's a lot cheaper. I'm just saying.
Well, it's the kitsch thing of it is what you're doing. You're getting,
but it's closer to home. I'd much rather go to Springfield to do a drive-in because Mansfield's like an hour away, and then that drive home sucks. So I would pay the $30 for the convenience.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Door. So
but you're right. That is something that will be happening. 2 screens. They said they can fit like
300 cars.
300 cars.
150 per movie.
But here's the other thing.
It's going to run from the time it opens till the Big E starts, then shut down during the Big E, then reopen from October to December.
Here's my big question. Now, Mansfield, or most real drive-ins, they have a mound of dirt. So you put your car up, and it puts your car facing the screen. So you put your wheels up on this little mound of dirt. They're not going to have that. Unless they're going to.
That's the old timey drive-ins didn't have that. The old timey drive-ins, I remember Mansfield when you just drove in and just parked your car on a flat ground, and the screen was up high, and you just
No,
watched it that way.
They always have a little mound, so your car kind of goes up a little bit. I don't know.
I think it's more just the kitsch of it. I think you're gonna have like a space. They're gonna space the cars out. I'm assuming they're not gonna have them.
Yeah.
Like for 150 cars, you're gonna have plenty of space in there. Those lots are huge, where you could set up like your lawn chairs, whatever, and sit outside and watch the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds interesting. I'm interested. But in August, if it's hot and humid, I'll go into a theater. I'm not going to sit in my car with a bunch of sweating people.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You have to agree. Sitting in a nice, cool, air-conditioned room is way more.
Oh, no. I'm just saying it'd be cool to go, they're going to play first-run movies there. That's the thing. The company they hooked up with.
Yeah, they did.
They're going to have regular movies there, too. It's not going to be just like old movies. They're going to have new movies, too. So
a bunch of movies you can watch on TBS.
Yes.
Every
Yeah,
weekend.
exactly.
Here's all the TBS greatest hits.
Yeah.
And here is, I have a last bit of news, and we'll get into Falcon. Breaking news today, Mark. Breaking news.
Okay.
The Star Wars and Obi-Kenobi Disney Plus show just announced their cast. Today. You can go into IGN. It's right there, Mark. So guess who's coming back, baby? Hayden Christensen.
I heard this already. That was already announced a while ago.
Yes, he will be back.
He's coming back as Darth Vader.
Well, he won't be Darth Vader. He'll be Anakin Skywalker.
No, because technically, which I said this when I first heard the news, people were like, oh my gosh, he's going to be wearing the suit.
No, wait.
Technically, he changed from Anakin Skywalker. The Emperor was calling him Darth Vader in episode 3 before he turned and got the suit on. Like, when he killed the younglings, he was Darth Vader.
He will be Darth Vader because the show will take place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
And so the following events of Anakin Skywalker falling to the dark side, becoming the Sith Lord Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know when it was taking place, so I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that Hayden Christensen will be donning the Darth Vader suit.
Well, that's the thing, too, is they're not saying, like, he's going to be donning the Darth Vader suit. A lot of thought process is that they're going to do flashbacks or sequences where they go back in time.
Why? But why? They're
and
telling
show
us,
like
stuff
he did as Darth Vader when he was not in the suit yet.
But he was always in the suit.
Like I just said, when he killed the younglings, he was still called Darth Vader. When he attacked the Jedi Temple,
but we saw that. We all saw that in a movie.
No, what I'm saying, so he was before he got into the suit. There was things he did that he was still called.
But we saw it, so why would we need to re-see it? I don't know. Literally saw that.
I don't know. I didn't write the show.
I don't think it's gonna be flashbacks because Star Wars is not known for.
Why put him in a suit? He's just gonna be the voice. Is just he didn't do the voice for when he screamed when he became.
He was in the suit when at the end of the Revenge of the Sith. He was in that suit. So
this kind of seems like a weird thing. You could put anyone in the suit. Why just have him do it? That makes no sense.
Pedro Pascal. Anybody can be in that suit, but he's in that suit.
Yeah, but he's the voice of the character, though.
Yes, but there could be scenes where he has the helmet off, and it's actually him with all the
that makes sense. Happening. Like when he's inside the Bantha tank or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was in the tank. That's probably going to be him. But the fact that he's coming back is kind of cool. So
that makes sense.
They released. Here's a kind of cool one. Joel Edgerton and Bonnie Peace are coming back as Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Yeah.
They played them in the prequel trilogy. So
they did.
Reprising the roles for the show, which is kind of cool. And then
because there's gonna be this scene where Obi-Wan ends up talking to them, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Checking in on Luke. How he's doing.
So he's
going to be on Tatooine, I'm assuming.
They put out the cast, but they don't say who they're playing other than those two people. Kumail Nanjiani is going to be coming back.
Yes, from The Big Sick.
He will be in dude, he's in Star Wars now. He's already in the MCU.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people I don't recognize their names, honestly. But the cast is out, so I'm wondering on IMDb if it tells you who they're playing. Probably not, but maybe. But that's kind of cool. That was a big news today.
Yeah, and the Cassian show is in the process of filming as well. So,
also, the Obi-Wan show starts filming this April.
Yeah, because it comes out after the Cassian show, I believe.
I don't know.
Because the Cassian show is already in production.
This is what my thought is because of COVID. I don't know. I don't trust any release dates. I think it's best just to say.
No, I know, but there's no release dates. But I'm saying I think that's the plan. Is it's going to come out after the Cassian Andor show.
Yeah.
But the thing I found over the weekend, which I thought was surprising, is that, which I think I'd known about, but wasn't sure that I knew it. Falcon Winter Soldier was supposed to come out before WandaVision. I thought was kind of interesting.
You're obsessed with like the order.
Well, because it's just the way they promote, like the way they do things, it makes more sense.
Well, because COVID happened, they had to change things.
Because it's Marvel and things connect in Marvel. It's like everything connects together somehow.
But nothing has really affected anything.
No, I'm just saying. It's just,
I mean, it's not like, the Doctor Strange cameo was scrapped because, some guy talked to someone's aunt's uncle's 5-year-old.
You don't know
kid.
that. You don't know that. Don't talk about things you don't know the answers to.
All those rumors, I hate them. It's so silly. Anyway, so that would happen. Let's talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 2 because this podcast is going long.
Yes, Falcon Winter Soldier Episode 2 was we finally get to see Falcon and Winter Soldier together. They meet up.
What a tonally different episode from the first one.
Yeah, this is like the Marvel show you've been wanting. This is it.
It's not as serious, but it has serious moments.
It has serious parts. Like you get we see Isaiah, which is amazing.
Yeah.
The Black Captain America, basically. Then you get they start touching on like things that are happening in the world, where the cops stop them walking down the street, which is kind of interesting to see that in a Marvel movie or show.
They've already started tackling race issues in the last episode.
Yeah.
So this is not, to me,
I just kind of like the way they're telling the story. And it's going to come out that the reason why Sam didn't take the shield, like that's the thing I find interesting, is how Sam's going to explain. I know what the reasoning is why he didn't take the shield and why he gave it up, but just how they're going to handle that story and how he's going to communicate that's going to be interesting to me. Is how they're going to.
Well, he had the conversation with Don Cheadle. Why am I blanking on his character name?
Rhodey Rhodes.
Rhodey. They had the conversation, those two, in the very first episode.
He was really Mephisto. I don't know if you knew that.
He's Mephisto. It's Quicksilver, actually.
Yes.
From Fox. So
Nightmare.
They actually had the conversation. They told you. They basically said, he said, first, it didn't feel like mine, which he said at the end of the last film.
So that in the end game,
But he also said to be a African American in America, to represent the government, but sometimes they don't like to represent you. It's tough.
Yeah.
And it's something he's grappling with because it's at the same time, you don't protect us.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time, taking on something that's supposed to show hope and all that, represent something bigger than me. And I think there's other things there too, but they had that conversation, a heart to heart, about what it's like to be in their situation and a man of color. And I think that was a really interesting take. And then this episode, the cops, you see it in action. The cops are going after Sam, saying, "Is this man?" Well, they go after.
They stop them and ask if Sam's bothering Bucky.
And it's no, and then all of a sudden
pulls his gun on him and everything, and he's like, "Don't you know who this is?" He's like,
they realize who he is, and then they
arrest the white guy.
They arrest Bucky because he has the
skipped his thing.
His
therapy. Then we also see the dribblings of John Walker being a jerk, basically. like at the end of the episode where it's like, just stay out of my way. And it's like, well, Falcon and Winter Soldier are gonna beat that guy up down the road.
I feel like, okay, so we know there's more super soldiers out there. We know there has been, and
I also think that going off of that super soldier thing, that there's gonna be some things gonna happen where somehow Sam's gonna get superhero serum or super soldier serum.
no, I think the new Captain America there and his partner, I feel like they want it. I feel like they want the super.
Well, I think that Captain America is gonna want it. Like the new Captain America is gonna want it.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's gonna end up like somehow, some way. There's gonna be like, it's gonna be interesting. There's only 4 episodes left, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this all. It's gonna happen quick. It's not gonna take a long time to get there. So.
But now they're going to talk to what's his face, Baron Zemo, which he's in prison.
Yes,
and he's not the big bad.
He's in the plastic case like Magneto.
The big bag is the Flag Smashers, which is funny because they are.
Who is like his own villain, like superhero villain.
In the MCU was a villain. It was a
Flag
male,
Smasher. Yeah.
But not the female from what we see.
Well, I think there's 2 separate groups there. I think like the big guy that kicked the guy in the face, that's actual Flag Smasher.
No, that was her. They kicked the guy in the face.
The first episode with the dark hair. No, it wasn't. It was a different character.
It was a group of people.
Yeah, but it was a big, huge guy that kicked the guy in the face. I think that guy is going to end up being Flag Smasher. One that threw the cop through the pole in the first episode.
No, the girl is. I think she is the Flag Smasher.
Okay. I think it's a whole separate group, but that's like another thing. Because she gets a text message saying, you took my stuff, and I'm going to find you and kill you.
That's from the power broker.
The
power broker. We saw the power broker on the phone. I think that's from the power broker. I think, there is, you're right. There's 2 groups. They're kind of like taking from this other group.
They're like Thanos acolytes too, because they wanted to go back to the blip. Like they don't like that all these people came back, and
right. They feel like it should be like no countries, no borders, no nothing, and everybody should just be as one. And it's weird. Like it's a weird take.
Yeah, like they think Thanos was right, kind of.
So it's interesting to see what, I mean, yet again, they're giving you I wouldn't even say a bad guy, just a different ideology about what they feel. And you might agree with it. I mean, you might be like, maybe they're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
yeah, because like what they were doing was like they were stealing medicine and then they sell it, or either they give it away or sell it or something. I don't know what they do with it. They didn't really get into that, but
so I had there was a theory online, and I don't know if I buy it, but it's interesting to think about the fact that they're stealing these vaccines. What if they're planning a man-made attack that's using some sort of poison where they can kill off half the population, but they have vaccines for it, so they'll save themselves, and they can basically make their own snapping. Because I'm like, why are they stealing vaccines? Okay, they're getting stuff for themselves.
Yeah,
and they're obsessed with recreating the blip. What if that is the case?
I don't know. It's like I think as I'm watching, I'm thinking like they're gonna wrap this all up in 4 episodes. This is gonna be it's gonna be a whirlwind the next couple episodes.
Well, they're moving quick.
I know, but that's what I mean. It's gonna be like wow, okay.
They're 45 minutes a piece, which is great.
Yeah,
it's like a mini movie. I mean,
they're just long enough. They're like, as where we all thought like WandaVision wasn't long enough. Short, these are like the perfect length.
The fight scene on the trucks was awesome.
Oh yeah,
like that was really.
Just cool. The scene of the Winter Soldier just running past the 18-wheeler and jumping on the back of it.
Yeah, it's interesting about Bucky. He doesn't want to kill again, so he's restraining himself because he falls from a plane, survives, gets on the truck, And these two guys have him. I mean, they both are super
They all have
soldiers.
superhero serum in them, so they're
But still, and he's kind of like
yeah.
it's
He has
almost
to let
like
that panther arm unleash.
seriously, like
Although
I
we
mean,
did get the first White Wolf reference, like he acknowledges himself as White Wolf in this episode, and
right,
that's pretty big.
yeah. And meeting Isaiah, was that Isaiah, and now he was a real character in
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Marvel.
He was the other uh, person that was in the trials with Steve, and they're the only two that actually the serum worked. And
But
so in the comic books, they're both fighting together, but Steve was given the mantle of Captain America because he's white.
yeah. Also,
Basically,
that plays into this because Sam says we should put the shield in a
museum
box, a
and
museum.
Smithsonian. Yeah,
But then the government's like, no, we
we
need to
need
get
a
a
we need a mascot.
we need a mascot. So an IP,
Yeah,
we need to really have this guy representing
yeah,
us. So they hire this white guy that kind of resembles Captain America.
yeah,
Blonde hair, blue eyed dude.
yeah.
And so they had some callbacks. The very first song when he comes out to the football
It was
field.
a song from the first
Captain
Avenger.
America. Yes, the
Yeah.
Star Spangled Man, which is kind of cool. So it's interesting. Oh, and Battlestar is Lamar's monarch. In the comics, he is Battlestar as well. Battlestar does exist. It's gonna be interesting to see if these two are after the secret serum themselves and want it. I was unclear if they had secret serum already, but I don't think they do. But they could. But the new Captain America could throw that shield just like Captain America could. So, are you under the impression they already have secret serum in them, or no?
Yes, yeah.
They do.
They all have. That's why she's so powerful. She already has super.
You know what I'm talking about? The new Captain America.
Yeah,
And
I don't think he does.
that's what I'm asking you.
No, because the way he gets beat up by those guys, there's obvious that he doesn't have it.
All right.
And the other guy gets thrown off the truck very easily.
That's true.
And they had to throw the shield underneath him.
But
I think that he's just strong. And like the shield, the way the shield's made, it's like a vibranium boomerang, basically. It's gonna come back. And I also think, and my other thought of that was, who's to say he actually was doing that? Who's to say that they didn't just special effects it in the in the movie, in the show kind of thing, where they show the thing of the news clip when they're introducing him.
Yeah, when he throws
Good Morning America and he throws a shield. Who's to say that it wasn't like edited? We know it's edited and for real.
Oh,
but
you're saying
in the show itself,
to
who's
make
to say
him
it wasn't
look,
edited
to make
to
him
make
look
it look
better.
like he can throw the shield like Captain America.
Well, we did see him throw the shield and save his partner. So
well, yeah, we just threw it and the guy just landed on it. I mean, that's like not like he didn't throw it and it come back to him like he did in that one clip. I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I feel like
because they did that kind of trope with the Mandarin in Iron Man.
Yeah.
Where it was like edited, like to make it look like he was like this.
The Mandarin, but he wasn't.
The Mandarin, but he wasn't. He was just a random guy.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, if they're after the serum, they want it because maybe it would make them feel more legit.
Well, I think once they figure out that there is the serum,
they know it exists. But yeah,
I know, but I don't think they know it exists at this time. Like Captain America, like the new whatever the other guy's Hoskins soldier's name, Bloodsport. What was his name?
Battlestar.
Battlestar. That's it. Thank you.
Bloodsport.
I don't know. I couldn't think of it for some reason. I watched too many superhero things over the weekend. I watched Invincible too, so I got all these names all mixed up in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I think okay, so we're gonna find out more about Flag Smashers, what their real deal is, because right now, they got to have some big plan that they're gonna try to do The power broker is going to be, he's after them. Then you have Bucky, you have Sam, they're after them, but they're on a kind of like a detective mission because now they're going to go talk to Zemo to find out if he has any leads or knowledge of Hydra or anything that they can get from him. So it's weird. It's like a lot of moving parts going towards one group of people, but then you're dealing with the new Captain America and Battlestar kind of put in there. Like, but also I think they know.
Well, they do show, like, in the trailer for the show, they do show Baron Zemo in the Baron Zemo costume, like with the head sock and everything. So do you think they break Baron Zemo out to help them?
They could. That's a good.
That why that he's being promoted so much? Is everyone thinking, oh my gosh, they're breaking Baron Zemo out, or Baron Zemo is going to be the big bad in the show?
Well,
but
he's not the big bad.
Baron Zemo is going to be another sidekick in their little squad because they're going to go get Baron Zemo. Then I think they're going to go after they get Baron Zemo. They're going to go get Agent 13, and that's like their squad.
I also feel like the new Captain America and Battlestar are keeping an eye on what they're doing this whole time because they showed up pretty quick. Okay,
well, they said that like that Sam's stuff's
yes, they know everything,
tracked, but Sam's not wearing his stuff right now. So
I'm just saying, I feel like they're going to keep a close eye on these two.
Yeah,
swoop in so they can take some of the.
They're going to try to take some of the credit, but I don't think it's going to work out.
I feel like something's going to happen. I feel something's going to break.
There's going to be a battle between them and the Falcon Winter Soldier.
I think it would be kind of really cool at the final episode, and I don't think it's going to happen, but if Sam was convinced that maybe he should take up the shield at the end, that would be
I think that's going to happen. Like, but there's also nothing saying that this is going to be the last season of this series. Like, there's nothing. They've never said that. Like, they said WandaVision was a one-off, but they never said anything about this one being a one-off. So,
no, in the article he said these are all one-offs unless they have ideas down the road.
So there's technically
this is a one-off.
Yeah.
There's a clear ending. It's not going to be a cliffhanger. So
okay. All right.
I don't think it's a clear ending. In the article, he said that all these are one-offs unless down the road they have ideas.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to lead to a movie, but I think it's going to be a clear ending like WandaVision was a clear ending. We're not going to have some like moment of like cliffhanger.
Well, WandaVision wasn't really a clear ending. It kind of just like was an ending.
Ended. It gave us an ending. It gave us closure. I felt satisfied.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts. So you're right. I mean, we have 4 episodes left. I think this episode, since we're getting close to the end now, even though we just started, I feel like we'll get more. I want to hear more what Zemo is going to do, and I think maybe they do break him out. I think
they break him out, and he's part of their crew.
I feel like they use him
like a little rogue squad kind of thing.
And I love how Marvel's doing this thing now with their characters. They're not making everybody, you're 100% good, you're 100% bad.
No,
there's
so
just much gray.
Making it real. It's like people have sides, and you pick a side, and you do what you got to do.
Yeah, and sometimes you might agree with a Thanos. Sometimes you might agree with the bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the only one who agreed during Civil War. I thought Iron Man, I was on Iron Man's side.
Yeah, you thought it was justified that he was mad at Bucky for killing his parents, even though
No.
it wasn't him that did it.
It was the whole when they were
Sokovia Accords.
Yeah, basically the government.
You have to register yourself as a superhero.
I thought that was correct, and then where Captain America was saying no, we should have no restriction at all.
Well, I don't think he was saying no restrictions. The thing with that is I think he was just saying they didn't want the information out there, that it's easy, that if the information was on a file somewhere, it's easy. After what happened with Winter Soldier in the Winter Soldier movie, he knows there's people in the government who aren't out for the best interest of everybody.
Well, also,
so if there was a list somewhere that said who every superhero was and where they lived and what their names are and had like all their information, somebody could hack into that and find that information and then track down the superheroes and get them all.
I think you're confusing the comic. The comic was about that. The movie was about because civilians had died,
Yeah.
and basically they're saying like all the governments, you guys, we need to have more control over you because there's incidents that this incident happened and kids died. And
Well, they're kind of still using that premise in this show, if you think about it. Like towards the end of the episode where they get out of jail, where Bucky comes out of jail and they're talking to new Captain America and his sidekick there, and he's like, you guys have to follow government tells you what to do and what you can and can't do. We're free agents.
Yeah,
we can do whatever we want. We don't have to follow the rules, which is basically what Civil War was.
Yeah.
New Captain America is on the Iron Man side. Falcon and Winter Soldier are the Captain America side. Still fighting that same battle, basically, even after all this has happened.
Yeah. Also, it's gonna be interesting because they saved the world, where the new Captain America has done jack shit. Really, he's a war hero, but he didn't save the world.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's a compelling.
Oh, it's an amazing
story.
show. It's very well done. Very well put together. Action is fantastic.
Yeah, I like the fact they're tackling race issues. I love.
Yes.
I mean, when the little kid says, "You're the Black Falcon," and he's like,
"Are you the black kid?"
He's like, "I'm the black kid. I'm just Falcon," because that's a trope. Where Marvel characters, I mean, we have Black Panther. You had all these the word black in front of that, and now that's kind of gone away. You're kind of going away from that, and I like that little So we call you the Black Kid.
Yeah.
And
he turns the other kid like, got him. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I just like it's yet again another home run. We'll see where it goes.
It's a very well put together show.
Yeah. For me, I think this episode, a scale 1 through 5, I give it a 4. Last week was a 5. This is like a 4.5 for me.
I'll say that same range. I mean, I know next episode if we get Zemo, so I'm gonna hold out and see what happens there and everything. But it was a good episode. It was very well done. It was very, very good. I liked it.
So you wanted to give us a review real quick of
I do, but it's gonna get I want to get into it, so I don't know if we should
watch the whole thing and then.
Well, I'm wondering if we should just stop and do a secondary show like we did with the last one.
But I haven't seen it, and I don't want to be ruined.
Ugh.
So just tell me.
It's very good, Brian. Watch.
That's
Invincible.
All you have to say.
Go and watch Invincible. There's only 3. The first 3 episodes were released Friday.
All right.
And they're all an hour long.
An hour long?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot. How many are there going to be in total?
I have no idea.
19,000.
They haven't announced it.
When's it come out?
Fridays.
Oh, the elusive Friday.
Yeah.
How about this? Let me watch it, and then
so watch the first 3 episodes. They're amazing. The voice actors, the people that they have doing voices for this, it's ridiculous. I'm not gonna tell you any of the voice actors.
Don't tell me.
Some of them have been announced, like Invincible is Steven Yeun, and his mom is Sandra Oh, and his dad's J.K. Simmons. And those are the ones that they announced. But I will tell you,
is this
your favorite community actors does a voice, and she's a big character in it. So I'll let you figure out who it is.
All right. Is it Jillian Jacobs?
It is.
Allison Brie. Oh, Jillian Jacobs. Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Here's my question. Is it along the lines of the Harley Quinn cartoon? It's kind of like
it's gory.
Adult humor, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Not really. It's just the superhero, if a superhero was to actually have a battle, it shows what would actually happen.
Yeah. It's based off the comic that
off the Invincible comic by Kirkman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he and the guys who drew the comic worked with the animation team, so it looks exactly like the comic book.
Oh, nice.
I mean, the animation is fantastic. Kirkman worked with the writers of the show, so it's basically a retelling of the comic book, but there's things that have changed here and there.
I didn't read it, so
Yeah, well, I started reading it and then got away from it, but now I want to go back and finish it. But yeah, but the first episode basically covers a big chunk of the first arc of the comic book.
yeah.
And then the second episode kind of jumps back into that first arc. Like they take like things don't line up in the way the comic book does, but they make it makes sense when you
Right.
watch it.
Right.
But
Cool.
no,
I will
it's
watch
really
it
well
this-
done.
I'll watch it this week, and maybe we
Yeah.
can talk about it next week.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's like it's written so well. It's like there's parts where it's like a sentimental scene, and you're like, man, like get you, and then like it goes into like superhero craziness like right afterwards.
Cool. All right.
But the first episode's gonna you're gonna be like, what is going on?
All right.
So
Don't tell me. I sometimes I need something to watch during the day while I'm working. I put it on.
it's great for that.
Yeah.
It's great for that. And the best part about it is it's like it keeps your like it going in not knowing it makes it better. I've found. Like I said, I started reading a couple of the things and just didn't keep reading.
Yeah.
So I don't know all the whole story, but I know basic story stuff. So it's crazy to kind of like it's a crazy show. It's like what is going on right now?
You said crazy a lot, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's crazy.
It's good. It's
All
good. I'm all in on Invincible.
All right, I'll check it out.
I'm definitely gonna get the final version of it, like in comic form, whatever it is,
Yeah.
graphic novel form now they call it. Yeah.
The omnibus.
Yes, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah, it was only 150 issues. It lasted 15 years. The actual comic.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So.
Well, I will check it out and we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
So that's been a show, Mark. We're going about an hour and a half, I believe. We don't want to go any longer. So
no, yeah, that's why we'll save Invincible and give you a full.
maybe when the show ends, we can just do a whole show about
I think if we just like hit on it now and then do like one episode where we just talk about Invincible.
Okay. I like that.
Because there's gonna be a gap in between Falcon Winter Soldier and Loki.
That's what I'm saying.
So we can do it then.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan. All right.
Sounds good.
Follow us on Geekonomics on Twitter, or like us
Yes.
on Facebook, Geekonomics podcast. We're on iTunes.
Like and subscribe to us on iTunes. We appreciate the iTunes people. You're gradually getting into it. We're appreciating you. I think we had 7 views last week on YouTube.
Oh, you're talking about
So-
our YouTube. Our YouTube. I mean, Facebook is where it's at, but YouTube is slow. It's
Yeah.
all about algorithms, and hopefully people subscribe.
Yeah.
Over time. It takes a while with YouTube. There's so much content out there.
Yeah, there's so many people doing stuff on YouTube now, so it's like crazy.
You're in a sea. You're in a
Yes.
massive sea of
Yes.
content creators on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, that's been a show. We'll be back next week.
All right. We'll see you all next week. Goodbye, everybody.